Welcome to Forging Flame, a podcast where we have conversations with all types of creative folks. My name is Ryan Selleck.
And I'm Nick Hinton.
And today we have a very special guest. His name is Ricardo Laranja. This guy was my teacher in college. He was my mentor. I learned so much through Ricardo. Basically, he launched me into my pathway into understanding audio and production and video. And I just have so much respect for this guy. So we're on location at his studio, Laranja Studios. And here he is. Ricardo, how are you today, buddy?
I'm good. You work me up too much, man.
Oh, man.
You can't do that.
I can't work you up enough, man. So I started taking classes with Ricardo back in 2005 and had a basic audio class with him.
That's right.
Yep. And
now you took all of my classes, didn't you?
I took every one of them.
Yeah, so there was 4 courses during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're currently teaching at the Music, Arts, and Technology Department at IUPUI, correct?
Yes.
And you're also the music director at your church?
Yes, it's in Denville. It's a Catholic church.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else are you up to nowadays?
Oh, man. So I also teach piano and voice.
Nice.
Yes, I have private students. I do that. And I do video work here and there whenever there's anything available to do. So I'm actually going to be shooting a video next week for the war memorials downtown. Yeah.
Nice. When we came in, Ricardo was showing us his brand new 6K camera.
Monster.
Do you need that many Ks, Ricardo?
Yes, I think we need the more Ks, the better.
It's the first time I've ever seen that many Ks in person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's nice to have that. I was trying to tell you guys is because, you just remember that when you have shooting something at high resolution, it's a much bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So when you go back down to HDs, which what is on our TVs, and then it looks just, you can zoom in this stuff and it's just so much better, I think.
Yeah. So what's this project with the war memorial? What are you doing there?
Okay, so basically it's they have an event that they do every year, and where they recognize the missing in action veterans. Mm-hmm. And so this year they can't do it live, so they hired me to do a production of the event, do a video production of it so they can go live. And it's going to go live on Facebook and YouTube or somewhere like this.
Oh, very cool.
So it's late September there sometime.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Are you still doing any production work in the meantime? Are you producing any artists? I mean, this studio, it feels like it keeps growing every time I come back here.
No, it doesn't grow any more than this, Ryan. It stays the same size. And that's the problem, because I keep getting more stuff, right, to put in here. So that's a problem. But no, I am actually producing music still. I do, of course, I've done some commercials and some movies and stuff like the music for that, or sound effects for it. I worked with Leon. Remember Leon?
I remember Leon, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still in LA?
Yeah, he's in LA.
Nice.
He's worked on all these Avenger movies and all these.
Really?
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
He's got over 30 or 40 movies, like big time movies he's worked on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So he's done I've done commercials for him. Like he'll produce stuff and then he'll call me up. He's like, "Can you come do the sound for me?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, bring it on." So I've done some of those, and I've been working with other people. Just there's a local artist I've been working. He does reggaeton, and I've never recorded that before, so it was kind of cool to do that.
What's that?
Reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
Yeah. So it's that. It's very syncopated music.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a dance.
Pitbull and Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
It's real hip hoppy, clubby,
Right.
Latin reggae jazz.
That's it. I think that's a good description of it. So, but
yeah, I used to sit next to him in chemistry class in high school.
Well, Nick,
so that's the first time I met Leon.
Oh, Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not realize you guys went to high school together,
we went to high school together, and then we were in the same new media program. And I remember Gosh, I remember even some of his projects kept coming back. I think it was the one where he replaced the sound on the X-Men movie, and we had to go in there. What did we have to do? We had to.
So
I don't
yeah,
even
we had to
remember.
do all the sounds from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah, so we basically took a scene from the X-Men, and then the students were to take all of the sounds out and then make the sounds that were going back in there
Yep.
from scratch,
From scratch.
Nice.
including all the voiceover parts, and we had to do ADR and like replace the vocals and everything. So
That was really hard. The ADR part was especially the hardest. Like getting your voice to
Yeah.
perfectly match up with somebody else's lips. Like,
What does that stand for? ADR.
it's dialogue replacement.
Okay.
Yeah.
yep.
It's automatic dialogue replacement is the actual thing, but there's nothing automatic about it.
Yeah, there's nothing on that. I thought it was additional, so I'm glad I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Additional makes more sense.
Yeah, it
'Cause
really
it's more,
does,
It's
right?
more dialogue.
Right. Yeah.
But I found out that I figured out for myself that the most effective way for me to do that anyway was to have people kind of let the person on camera speak and then mimic it right afterwards and then just sync that up. That was the most effective for me because
Yeah.
trying to get it to match up perfectly was
Well,
a
you know,
nightmare.
I'll tell you that life has become a lot easier since you've taken that class.
How so, Ricardo?
Yeah, no. So now the way that you do this is actually you put the sound there of the person, the take from the actual movie, the voice, and then you repeat it. But you can put a loop on it, and it will actually loop back, and then you record yourself until the producer that's listening says, "Oh, that's a close one." Doesn't even have to be perfect, because now there's a plugin you can hit the plugin, and it'll take the waveform and match it perfectly to the other one.
Oh,
So
nice.
your synchronization of your voice and everything will synchronize perfectly, and there's no problem.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm just behind the curve on technology here. We came in here, we were about to set up our little Sony Handycam and Panasonic Handycam, and then Ricardo's like, "Yeah, let's just use this camera right here." And can you tell our listener about this camera you got going on here?
Yeah, this little camera is pretty kind of cool. You know, it's like it's really made for stuff like this, I think. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, because it's not this incredible quality, but it's definitely made. It's good enough for us to do a podcast. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're not dealing with my 6K camera, cinema camera, right? But it definitely you get really good quality from it, I think, and it's very useful. And what it is I'm switching the cameras live, so I'm putting that right now. I just switched to you guys, and then I can switch to me, and then I have a wide shot. But it's all one little tiny camera. It's about this big, right? It's like little tiny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it picks up real well, and with the sound and everything. So
It basically looks like an Alexa device. It has the same kind of ring
really
around
does,
the top.
yeah.
It's a little thinner than one of the what's the Pro Plus device, whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It's mounted on there. Almost looks like it could be a microphone.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Alexa karaoke mic. That's
That really looks like, right? Yeah, this looks like kind of like a microphone. So
Yeah. Well, this podcast, we're really all about the creative process. And one of the reasons I was really excited about having you on is, I mean, not only have you been, you became a professional musician at the age of 12. Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how that was? And that was in
Yeah,
Brazil,
man.
right?
Yeah, you know, in Brazil, you actually, for you to become a professional musician, you have to take a test. And so, and it's a theory test and then a performance test. And then they decide whether you're good enough to become a professional. And so when I was 12, just for the hell of it, you know, I went and I took the test, you know, and I passed it. And so it's funny because I got a phone call from from the president of the union, because they have that going on over there. So, and then he called my mom and was like, "Hey, do you have a Ricardo Laranja here?" And then it's like, "Yes, it's my son." I was like, "Well, this must be a mistake because it looks like it says here that he's 12. And then my mom was like, "No, he's 12. He's like, "Well, he passed the test to be a professional musician." So I was the youngest professional musician in Brazil
Wow.
for a while there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what after that? Was it just like fame and glory, like just right out of the gates, doves fluttering?
No, I don't think so.
Local newspaper headlines.
No, but I did get to do some real cool things, while I was there. And I had just come back from the States. So I lived in the States with my parents for 2.5 years. And that's how I learned music. Actually, I never learned it in Brazil. I learned it over here. So when I was there, I actually got to play for the president of Brazil when I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, I had all these, this is how I became a teacher. Okay. So I had all these people say, hey, how can you play so well? And can you teach me? And so I was like, yeah, I can teach. I was 12. I didn't care. Right. So I started teaching different people. But every time somebody asked me to teach them, I had to draw up all these different things and like do all this stuff. So I started writing the book. And so I wrote the book when I was 12. And then
Wow.
I finished it when I was 14. And then it was published when I was 16.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that's actually when I graduated early from high school and went to Berklee College of Music when I was 16. And I was the youngest one there at the time. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's being a child in the Berklee College of Music wow. That's intense.
Yeah, no, we get picked on a lot when you're that little. And it's like, what is this kid doing? Yeah.
And so your main instrument is piano. Do you play any other instruments? I never knew it. You're always just behind the piano. You're so good at it that.
Well, yeah, no,
There's
I
no
don't
need-
claim it. I don't claim it, but I know a little bit of saxophone, a little bit
Oh,
of
cool.
trumpet.
Cool.
Yeah, but I don't claim those.
You don't claim those?
No.
It's not good enough to claim.
No. If I can't play with my friends, I don't claim them anymore. I used to be pretty decent on it, but not so much anymore. So
Well, it sounds like with this keyboard, you can play any instrument you want. We
Yeah, no.
walked in here and he had a full orchestra soundtrack to our
yeah.
entrance and
Yeah.
played, what was that, the Pirates of the Caribbean music?
yes, I did that. Here, I play for you guys. Ready? Let's see here.
Let's do it.
You want the Pirates? Let's see.
Let's get the Pirates.
the Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay. There it goes.
It's beautiful.
So if the listener is in need of an entire orchestra,
We got you.
we got you in the frame of one man. All he needs is his keyboard. That's great, man.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's to me it's like a big toy.
Yeah, I can tell you're definitely having fun over there playing with this.
It's funny is I have my movie theater over here, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm always playing down here, and the subwoofer in that room is about this tall. It sits behind the screen. You don't see it, and it's like this wide, right? It's really huge, and it's made. It was custom made. This subwoofer, and so boom, when something hits in the movie, the whole house shakes, right? Stuff falls from the shelves upstairs. Well, my wife will yell down to me. It's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm playing a video game or something. And I'm like, "Research, honey, research." That's my answer to her. It's a research, right? So
Definitely not. Headshot, honey, headshot.
yeah, headshot. No, research is my answer usually.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. Yeah, one of our first audio projects was actually with your wife, and it was her just reading through something, and we had to take out all of the little audio blips and glitches and stuff with her voice. And I understand some students did some pretty creative and horrific things with that too.
Oh my gosh, yes. You remember that?
I remember that. That was my first experience with audio. Really,
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah, that's
running
right.
that project.
Well, what's funny is that particular project, she used to say N to 10, introduction to digital sound, right? But when the whole purpose of this project was that she would mess up all the reading and everything, and then the students had to make it read like it was supposed to. So she would do some stuff like introduction to digital sound.
Duh. Yeah.
and then she would repeat the phrase, and they had to cut the good part from the beginning and put the other part in there, and then like do all the editing for it, right? So supposedly, students had nightmares about that. I don't know that whole project. And what's funny is that I walked into a restaurant the other day, and I was just sitting there, and I saw a student, and I went over there and just snuck behind him, and I went, N-to-10, an introduction to digital sound. And he was like, oh my God, I had nightmares about this project. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that was a good project. It's a really great project because people get to really experience everything that can go wrong in a file.
Yeah.
And then edit it, so.
And then it's also really good practice too, because when you're editing sound and you want to cut something out, you have to edit it right at the point where it hits that center line, because it's a wave. It goes up. I'm butchering this. That
no, you did. You're right on, and that's
okay.
exactly. Yes.
That's
like
best student.
No. I succeeded. He remembers it.
I remember.
Validation.
Yes, I mean that still comes in handy today. Whenever I'm doing editing, I always make sure that what's that line called? That zero.
That's infinity line. Yeah.
The infinity line.
Yeah,
okay, so we always want to make our edits at that infinity line, or else you get these like little glitches. Like
yeah, because there's no sound there, so that's the absolute quietest it can be.
Yeah. And it's constantly
it goes up and down.
Sounds weird every time I like think about what sound is and recording and thinking about infinity line, that there's these moments of absolute infinite silence in the middle of the waveform. Like, does that not blow your mind, Ricardo? Like, what's that about? What is this?
Here, for the sake of our dear listener, Ricardo, can you define sound in a physical way?
Okay, now sound. Okay, so sounds are vibrations.
Sure.
Right, from the molecules in the air, and so that's what hits your ears, and the vibration happens, and then you get certain frequencies, and it's the cycles, how fast that vibration happens. So a real low note, it will be slow. So it'll be like the low A over here is like 23 vibrations, and then you have the tuning A, which is up here. That's 440 cycles, right? So it gets higher and higher and all that. So, yeah.
And
so the vibrations, it happens, and then when it doesn't happen, there's silence.
And visually, how that looks, like if you're looking at like a recording interface, you see. So the lower note is like a much slower arc.
Yeah. So So it will actually. Not that it will be a slower arc, but it will be it doesn't move as fast.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's like less movement on it. So the slower you go, because that's the it's measured in hertz, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you how fast the cycles of that happens is what you see in your computer when you're looking at a waveform. So yeah.
So it's really that arc over time, really.
Right.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your audio classes, they were by far my favorite. That was a lot of fun, replacing those sound effects in those scenes. And I remember I had the one from Sin City, which was a lot of fun.
Oh man, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then another fun project we did is we took a children's book and we made it like an animated thing. So we
that's right. Yeah, that was the advanced class.
That was it. That was the advanced class, and we had to make it surround sound too. That was a different
That's
thing
right.
for us.
Yeah.
So I did
we had to mix it in surround sound and everything.
Yep. Yeah. And so that was a lot of fun because I got to kind of, I don't think for the sake of the project you required us to animate it, but you were more worried about the sound, making it a surround sound kind of experience. But I went the extra step and I animated some of the stuff. And the book, the children's book that I did was I think it was the Dumb Bunnies or something.
The Dumb Bunnies. I still have that project.
Nice.
I have it. Yeah. I show it to students. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You made the reel, bro. Nice.
Yeah, I made the reel.
No, he did make the reel. And you know what? He had like the rolling ball rolling across and hitting the Dumb Bunnies. You guys know the Dumb Bunnies? It's a great book.
I know the Dumb Bunnies.
My kids love that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they still watch. They watch that particular project and they say, "Oh, play the Dumb Bunnies," because I'm showing students other projects,
That's amazing. I feel special right now.
You
Oh,
should.
yeah, no.
Nice
I made the
work,
cut.
buddy.
And I just found that like at a Barnes and Noble. I was just looking for books because I knew I needed a children's book for a project. I'm like the Dumb Bunnies and flip through it, and it's basically just kind of a play on like typical children's book and like fairy tales and stuff. And it was just, but it turns it on its head. It's purposely ridiculous. So. I think like there's one like the Three Bears part in it, and like they come in there and they're like, oh yeah, so the porridge was perfect, so he poured it on his head. You know? Like,
Right.
it just doesn't make any sense deliberately.
Yeah, and I love the part where he's like in the car, and the kid says, "Can I drive?" He's like, "No." It's like, "Oh, please," and then he's like, "Okay," and then they go off a cliff. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's hilarious, you know.
Yeah, and I used Photoshop and I cut out the car and everything, and then I think I animated it in After
Premiere.
Effects.
No, it was Premiere.
It was Premiere.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually did it in Premiere, which was, it's easier to do it in After Effects actually, but we were doing this was just introduction to keyframes, I guess, movement, animation stuff like that.
Yeah, and one of the ones that I remember that was really good. I forgot her name. The Click Clack Moo one.
Oh, yeah.
I remember her last name, Kruska or something.
Yeah, Kruska. Liana,
yeah.
Liana Kruska, right?
That was a really good one. Boy, there was just a lot of good. How do you come up with these project? I guess you could call it like ideas, briefs, or.
So what I think about is the process.
Okay.
What are the students going to learn in this particular project, and how can I add to their bag of tricks? That's my whole purpose of when I'm teaching to students. I'm like, okay, they need to be out there doing this stuff. What can I give them to be able to enhance what they already know and add to it?
Sure.
Right. So that's how I come up with these ideas, because one, you had to mess with Photoshop, you had to mess with Premiere and know how to animate something in there, and you had to make sure you were mixing in surround sound. You had to record your own sounds, you had to record your own voiceover, put your own music in there. So it was like this, the advanced class, of course, you have all this stuff. But before all those, you have all these other projects that leads you to that spot where you can do all those things, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was pretty successful. I love teaching those courses because I could see, and I get students until this day. To me, the satisfaction is that I have students call me from 2003. And when they graduated had my class in 2003, and they say, "Hey, I still use those techniques you showed." And I'm like, well, then I showed you the right thing, I guess.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, your teaching plays into just about everything that I do right now, like especially with the podcast, editing the sounds. I was telling you about using the wrong kind of microphones to record the podcast and stuff, and how I had to edit every single little silence and everything. But yeah, it still plays into just about everything I do.
Yeah, and you got really good equipment now. Everything's so good now.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
apparently we're lacking on the camera situation here.
Well, no, we're doing good. It's good. It's good. This is just something I use. I use this camera for the church, actually.
Yeah.
So I just put it up there and do it, and do the videos for them like that. And it's easy. You can do that, and can have my son runs it.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
How old's your son now?
George is 11.
11 years old. Gosh.
And Alini is 9. So.
Where'd the time go?
I know it.
This is blowing my mind because I'm coming back in here like it's the first time back in 2009, and that's 11 years ago.
Yep. He was just a baby.
He was just a little baby, guy.
Yeah.
And we had a Brazilian barbecue, which apparently for our listener who doesn't know, a Brazilian barbecue is where you just take a big old piece of meat, put it in the middle of the table, and everybody chips off of it.
Yeah. And it's as it's cooking, you start cutting pieces of it. So a lot of people think it's weird because normally, when you have people over to eat, you have, plates and stuff, and everybody puts some food on the plate. Well, with the Brazilian barbecue, what they do is they cut it as they cook it, because that's the best, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they pass it around to everybody. So they just go around, you cut a bunch of pieces, pass it around, and it's like their warm up. And then later you can have the rice and all the other stuff, right? So, but that's the fun part of it, and it's the best part of doing that, because you're passing it around, you're socializing, and the meat is just amazing because you're cutting the little pieces, but you still, it's so good.
Every bite is a perfect bite.
Right,
You get all
exactly.
that nice bark and char on there. Ooh,
Yeah.
getting excited just thinking about it.
I should have put some meat on the grill for us. Now that you're talking about it, make me want some.
That's okay. That actually reminded me
time.
also, I think it was your brother's project, the Forno di Pizza.
Yeah, Forno di Pizza.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, he's doing pretty well with it. He sold one to Zuckerberg.
Nice.
Yeah, and he sold another one to the owner of the Patriots.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to go over there to install it and everything for him. Yeah.
So in case our listener doesn't know what Forno di Pizza is, it's a very specialized thing. I know Nick probably doesn't. Yeah. Can you tell us about Forno di Pizza?
Yeah, so Forno di Pizza is my brother's company, but it stands for pizza oven. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what it is he has this pizza oven. It's outdoor, and so it's a wood-fired oven, but it's got a dual fuel system, so it's got gas in it as well. And you can push the button and it lights up and it's ready to go. You put the wood in there and then it just heats up the hearth and then you just put your meat in there. And the way it circulates, there's some type of like mathematical thing that goes on in there. I don't even know. But he has a company that builds these and sells them. So,
nice.
Yeah. And the pizza is just amazing. Oh, so good.
And they cook in what, like just a couple of minutes, right? Just a few minutes?
Yeah, it's 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
You can have a full pizza in 90 seconds. Yeah.
What does this magical device retail for?
I think it's like $4,000 or something like that. Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm thinking commercial because I'm literally like pricing a second pizza oven right now, and I just found a large like table height convection oven, and I lost my mind because it was only like $3,100. I'm like, wow, that's like remarkably cheap because good equipment like that, like for a kitchen.
Yeah.
If it's less than 10 grand, that's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good, and we have these pizza parties, where we basically make 20 pizzas.
Oh yeah.
And we make them all different types. Like, you know what my favorite one is okay, you guys gonna think I'm crazy, right? So banana pizza.
Okay, yep, crazy.
Yeah. So you're like that. I'm confused. How are you talking about putting bananas on a pizza, right?
I'm already on board.
Oh yeah. No, I'm telling you. Here's what you do. You take the dough, right? You roll out the dough, get ready, and all the dough is made from scratch. My wife makes it.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a specific recipe for the pizza oven, and then so we put mashed the bananas on there with a little bit of cinnamon, okay, and then you dump a bunch of mozzarella cheese on it. You guys have to try that.
Okay.
You think it's weird, but it's amazing. It's really good. You guys will love it. And then the other one we do that is probably the most popular one is it's the peach pizza. Yeah. So what they do is they use brown sugar in this one, and so they do the same thing, and so it's peach, chicken, and bacon, and then all the cheese on it. But they put, instead of putting sauce, you don't put marinara sauce on it. You don't put pizza sauce. You put brown sugar.
Oh, okay.
And it caramelizes, right? And then you just, it's so good.
Okay.
Because you have the sweet and you have the salty taste together, and it's amazing. You would think it's crazy, but I'm telling you.
Well, there's a local, like probably the fanciest of the downtown Indianapolis pizza joints has a peach pizza right now that looks really tasty.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I'm intrigued. I might have to whip up a banana pizza tomorrow and give that a shot.
You gotta try that. You gotta try the banana pizza is magical.
All right.
You wouldn't think it would work, but you gotta put lots and lots of mozzarella cheese on top of it. Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow I'm gonna make a banana pizza. I'm gonna take photos.
Yeah. You need to tell me how it went too.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
All right.
See, but I've only got pre-made cracker thin crusts at my disposal, so we'll have to deal with that.
You know what my wife's been doing? She's been making a cauliflower crust.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you can't tell the difference. It's really good.
Yeah, I recently cut out gluten from my diet, so
Yeah, I did too.
Whenever I can, I get those gluten-free crusts, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
I mean, I do miss the big old fluffy crust from Papa John's, Domino's, and stuff, but like when you got to go gluten-free, it's really not bad.
No, it really does.
It's better for you anyway.
Yeah, right.
What are you using for the gluten? By the way, can you tell him what you do?
So I run food and beverage service for Hotel Tango Distillery.
Oh wow,
If you're
okay.
familiar with Hotel Tango, but we just started doing food service in there, and that's pretty much exclusively limited to pizzas right now.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, very basic, very simple. But later this week I'm experimenting with some new food items that I'm pretty excited about.
Nice.
So
okay, cool.
We'll be playing around a little bit.
All right.
We might have to toss a banana pizza on the menu.
I know, right?
I think if I can present it well enough and not tell my coworkers and colleagues, if I can not tell them what it is and just get them to try it, I'll be able to sell them on it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just try this. Just call it a pie.
Yep.
There you go. So that's you know what? It's a dessert pizza.
Yeah.
Really it is.
Yeah.
Right. So but it's so good.
See, I can get behind that, but pineapple on pizza, that's just against my religion. Like I can't do that.
Yeah. What they call that Hawaiian pizza?
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I think if a banana pizza is good, a banana and papaya pizza would probably be awesome.
Oh, I never had the papaya in there, right? But I might have to try that one. So.
Banana and papaya work like sexy magic together.
Oh yeah,
very very delicious flavors when combined the right way.
I'm just picturing the papaya right now with the banana. It's not a good picture. There you go. That's all you get from me on this one. Okay.
Still pretty PG. It's fine.
Yeah.
Only the parents will get that one.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Ryan, I think you mentioned, and tell me if I'm remembering incorrectly, but didn't you say that you did some gaff work with Ricardo?
With what work?
Like maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but what's the practice called when you're like making sounds? You're recording things and using them
Foley.
as sound. Foley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think the one project that I told you about that we did together is it was a online flash video game for children to teach kids about gas and electrical safety.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. You're like my main helper for that.
Yep.
You did more work than anybody else in that project.
Yeah, that was I don't know about that, man. Like your
Holy
contribution
cow.
was huge to that, but that was Ricardo came to me. I think this was right after I graduated with my my bachelor's, and
You got paid for that. That was like one of your first paying gigs.
that was the first like thing. That was awesome. I loved that. So it was I think it was grant funded, right? And then, they came to you. The people that were putting on the project. They came to you to do the sound, and then you hired me and another sound engineer to as interns basically.
Yep.
And even the pay was decent. It was a lot of fun. I just remember in the classrooms at IUPUI in the Information Technology Building. Is that what they call it now? The IT building?
Yeah.
It's still called the IT building?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
In these classrooms, it's just all around the classrooms are whiteboards. And I had at least half of the room just filled up with all the sound effects that we needed.
Yeah, and I have pictures of that.
Nice.
Yeah, I kept those because it's really the correct way to do this process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just what helps me is just getting it out of my head and being able to see it up on the wall and seeing it large. It's not enough to put it on like a notebook like this where you have to flip through all the pages to see everything. It really helps to sit there and see everything in front of you.
And check mark the ones that you're done.
Yep.
Okay, this one's satisfactory. It's done. It's ready to go. And at the time, they were producing this stuff, and we had to actually get video of how the stuff was going to move in the game, and then we would automate sounds that would go in there, and then they had to program those sounds to do those things into the game itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember doing like mock-ups for that too. So we my favorite one was it was basically a knockoff of Space Invaders. So like it's this little like gas flame guy named Thermi, and he's shooting little projectiles at like these like shovels that are coming down trying to dig without calling. So.
Yeah.
And I loved how the sound effects turned out on that. So I selected all the sound effects, and then And then at some point they needed some kind of demo how it was going to work. So I just pulled it into After Effects and just put all the sound effects in there. Well, I actually used Cakewalk to put the sound effects there and just put everything in After Effects and shipped it off to them. And they're like, yeah, good to go.
Yeah, that's how we were doing all of those. They would export a video of how the movements and things were going to work and all the things that needed sound in there. We had a discussion about that. And then Ryan and I and we had another person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know his name if you want me to drop his name.
Who was it?
It was Bradley Moore.
Oh yeah, Bradley.
Yeah.
Bradley's awesome.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. He's doing a good job too right now. All my students are
doing awesome. What's that about, Ricardo?
They're all doing pretty well in life, I think, and a lot of them are doing this. Like a lot of them doing audio stuff. So that's a good sign, I guess.
That's cool.
Definitely a testament to the fact that, well, from me sitting here, like having a blank perspective on you as the entity of Ricardo, right, and all the things that you do.
Oh boy.
You started writing a book to teach others when you were 12. Yeah. You are absolutely fulfilling your destiny, like as a teacher of these things.
I am fulfilling my destiny.
I forgot you could do that with your voice too. He does a great. Oh gosh.
This microphone makes me sound very good.
What's the musician? The Wonderful World. You did
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
That's right.
Yeah, he does a perfect Louis Armstrong, and he sprung that on the class one day. I think we were filming something at your church.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
You started playing it, and nobody knew what was about to happen, and he started singing, and everybody lost it. It was great.
Everybody pulling out their phones trying to videotape it.
Yeah, this is back in 2008 when the quality is just garbage.
Yeah.
Do you mind giving us a little piano back to Louis?
I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it on here, huh?
Well, we should have
a little bit.
Should have jacked it in.
Yeah.
Do you want to run the keyboard in there? Is that too hard to do real quick? I can give you a line.
I don't know if I can do it live though. We would have to.
No big deal.
Are you recording multiple tracks for each microphone, or is it all together?
It's all together.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It's separate. Ricardo, come on.
Come on, Ryan. I can't work with that.
So just a big fat mono signal.
All right, that's okay.
Just distance a little bit away from the microphone with your voice, and I think it'll pick up plenty from behind you.
All right, I'll try it. Let's see here. Let me put my phone up here so I can see the music.
Oh yeah, gotta see the music.
I don't remember it by heart. I should know it by heart by now, right? Well, I can try
I
it.
thought this was just like a trick you just do. Yeah.
I gotta know it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to grab my other one because if I take that out of here, it's gonna turn that off.
Uh-oh.
Oh
So
yeah.
let's see. All right.
I see trees of green.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, that's.
I have to get the music. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I might be able to keep it playing and recording at the same time. Let me see.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's still going, so we're in good business there.
All right.
The red light's on.
The red light's good. Real player. There we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. There it is. Okay, this is easy. So this is a really cool app. All it gives me are the chords.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so then I can easily figure out what to play. So, all right, so. Was that far enough there, you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. I got this recording too.
I see trees of green, and red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, What a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I've watched them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God,
that was
fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
That was great.
Only you to make me do that on
Yep.
tape.
All right. All right. With that, we're done here.
We're not going to be able to top it.
Yep. This was all one big ploy to get you.
So,
Okay. I think we're still recording, I think. Yep.
perfect.
Looks like
Yeah.
it.
No, definitively, my day will not get better than that moment.
That was great.
Thank you very much.
No, I was not expecting that at all. I just remembered that offhand, and then
Yeah.
and then Nick had to put you on the spot here.
Oh yeah,
It's all good, Nick.
that's my primary job on this show.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
you know what's funny about that song is that I think I told this to the class before, but I found out that I could do that people liked when I did this. And then I found out that I could go to a karaoke bar and if they were having a contest, I would win
Oh yeah,
by doing that song.
nice.
And so I did that one and I did my James Brown. Remember James Brown?
I forgot about that one.
So I do the I Feel Good, right? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and I do a dance and I go and it's crazy, right? People grab their gut, they're laughing so hard at me, right? So I did, so I would do the Louis Armstrong for the semifinals, and then I go to the final and I do my James Brown and win.
oh yeah, just lay it right on them.
And I would win every time, and I'm like, what the heck? So I started looking for this. I was young, I was like, and I would start looking for karaoke contests, and it was the easiest money. I bought my lights, I bought cordless microphones, like $1,000 microphones, all with karaoke money.
Nice.
Yeah, from doing those.
It's amazing. It's a strong hustle too.
Yeah, I would just go online and say, look it up, and like, oh, they're having a karaoke contest. I guess I'll go make some money.
Nice.
Sing
of
2
cake.
songs. Done deal.
When's the last time you did that?
Oh, it's been a while, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah. A karaoke contest, probably, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. That's not that long ago.
No, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still do those. I haven't gone to a karaoke bar in a long time.
Yeah.
But if I get friends enough to go, I'll do it. I'll go.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Consider me there.
Oh, yeah. What's your song, Nick? What's your go-to song?
My go-to karaoke song. See that I it takes a lot for me to work myself up to actually karaokeing. I like safe, slow songs.
Oh, okay.
I
Slow songs for me are not safe because that means you got to do long notes.
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Let's see. I had what was my regular go-to? It was mostly because I could do it with a lot of physical energy, and that would always get people like into it.
Right.
Was it? No, Baby Got Back. Yeah, Baby Got Back, and probably a bit overdone these days.
That's funny. Yeah. No, that's a popular one. Yeah, for sure.
Or the other one was Death Cab for Cutie. I'm blanking on the name of the song right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You know what my son likes to
I'll
do?
follow you into the night. That's
Oh,
the
there
one.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my
That
son.
one's dark.
I tell you, George, he can do Ice Ice Baby like from beginning to end, like
Nice.
perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah,
good
it
one.
cracks me up. So,
So he plays piano now. Does he play any other instruments?
he's learning the saxophone. In fact, he had his first lesson today.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Had his
Alto.
first lesson. Already had his lesson
well, it
before
was
we
at
came.
9:00. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. See, these Laranjas, man, they don't mess around. They get after it early.
It's in the blood.
That's through school actually. So they have a private teacher there, and they go and they teach the students.
Okay, so
Amazing.
he's actually in class.
Yeah, he's in
they're
class.
not doing homeschooling thing.
No,
here.
no, they're both in school.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
What type of sax is he learning on?
it's a alto sax.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Great place to start.
yeah.
It's all about that Barry for me though.
Oh yeah, yeah. You a Barry player?
I started on the alto and then moved to the Barry once I felt I had developed enough like kind of fluency on the instrument and
That's
I mean
cool.
it's been years and years and years since I've played, but
Yeah.
that's where the soul was in the Barry.
Yeah, you know, I love the low tones of that instrument.
Yeah.
It's just so cool, man.
Yeah.
Any of those, even a bass clarinet sounds really cool too.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah,
So, I know Ryan's a guitarist though.
that's right.
Hey, I gotta show you my guitar. I got a guitar. It's a 1973 Les Paul.
Ooh.
That's sitting over there. I don't know how to play guitar. So it's over there, and I always, anytime somebody that plays guitar comes over, I'm like, play my guitar.
I think the last time I came over here, you were you made me play your guitar. If that was the same one, this was back in like 2016. It was before I left town.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. It might have
Yeah.
been that same guitar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice guitar. That was fun.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much nowadays since I've been podcasting so much. It's
Yeah?
it's been tough to make time for it.
You need to bring the guitar to the podcast,
Yeah,
man.
just have it in
Yeah.
my lap, and I'll just start noodling while we're playing, just
Yeah.
like you are with the keys.
That's it. Yep.
Make
great.
you go Facebook Live after every recording session playing the guitar for
There you go.
for
can
our
do that.
single follower.
You have that in there, and you could play like give a. And the creative process.
You said you weren't a good guitar player.
I will be Antonio Banderas. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Man,
I
I'm
love
glad
it.
we shot it in here because
Oh, yeah.
having the keyboard in front of him, it's just beautiful.
I just have a lot of fun with this thing. I love it. You
Yeah.
know, it's so much fun. And I bought one of those EVs. Have you seen those? The real skinny speaker. They're unbelievable.
Oh, I think I have seen those before.
Oh, like I have to show you, man. You can fill a room up with that, no problem.
Yeah,
And
people
it's-
use them as like PA speakers.
Yeah,
and stuff,
that's
or
what
like,
they are.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
I also bought a little tiny, the S1 Bose ones. Have you seen? They're just a little tiny thing like this big. But that, for small gigs, I can carry that thing like nothing. It's like so little and it's light. And I hook up this keyboard and I can fill if I'm just doing background music, cocktail music or whatever, I can do that.
It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
So
so
do you-
much easier.
Do you? I mean, other than like, I assume you probably play at church, right?
Yeah.
But are you playing out anywhere else? Like with any? Well, I mean, obviously not right now, right? But
Yeah.
but I mean, otherwise, if
Yeah, I do private parties.
okay,
And stuff like that whenever it's needed. I just did something at AJ Foyt's winery over
Sure.
there. And,
Speedway.
Yeah. I've done that before. And then, downtown, whenever there's something going on, they need somebody to play piano or something in the background. I do it. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I'm a lounge pianist. I love doing that stuff.
you like you.
Yeah, because I say it's like practicing, but I play all the songs that are like, fun. I don't know. To me, they're fun. They're old jazz standards and popular songs and stuff like that. I love doing those.
Would you say that you enjoy that because you like generating the atmosphere?
Yes, and you know what? I'm pretty good at reading a crowd, so that kind of helps. Quite
Sure.
a bit. So I enjoy doing that. So I pick the songs according to the crowd, and I guess I'm pretty decent at figuring that out. So.
Just kind of reading the vibe in real time and then speaking that through the instrument.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a gift to be able to do that.
Oh yeah.
And when I had a band, we were it was three of us. Okay, it was a trio, and we played 5 nights a week, 45 weeks out of the year.
Wow.
Okay. And I tell you, that girl and I could read a crowd like exactly the same. And so it got to the point where we would turn to each other and say the exact name of the same song that should be played next. Yeah. It was pretty cool. So, but
Have you two ever played any music together?
Yeah, we were in a Afro-Cuban ensemble together.
that's right.
Yeah, I was playing bass for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he came to me. It was right before the semester started, and they needed a bass player. And he asked if I can play bass. I'm like, well, I play guitar. It's just 2 fewer strings. So.
And he did a real good job too.
That was fun. And my favorite one was the Chick Corea song that we played, Spain.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I recently
that's
relearned
hard.
that. Yeah, I recently relearned that one on guitar just because I couldn't get it out of my head. And then I went to see Chick Corea with my my grandmother in Seattle.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was awesome.
my God.
Like, it was really funny because my grandma, she's like super hip. Like she hates that I call her grandma. But like, she's
I'm like I'm
she's-
really your aunt.
I mean, she's in her 70s, but like she just has so much. She has more energy than I do. So when I was in Seattle, she's like every time she gets off work or like in the weekend, she's ready to go out to the club and hang out and like do
God,
stuff.
that's awesome.
And she's like, Ryan, come on out, like let's go. I'm like, oh man, it's the weekend. I'm staying in. I'm chilling. I gotta recharge. Grandma, you're crazy. And so one day I go up there and I'm hanging out with her and we were drinking some wine, so we get a little loose and stuff, and then like started getting real excited about music because she loves jazz, and then Chick Corea came up and she's like, oh, Chick Corea's playing, and I'm like, let's go, let's do it.
Oh, dang.
And then we went to go see them, so I ended up relearning Spain on guitar, and I made a little video for her like playing that.
Oh,
little
that's
ditty.
awesome.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
But playing
Such a nice boy.
Yeah, such a nice boy.
You should record these. Like that's another reason for you to take your guitar to these things and play some stuff. Say, I'm gonna play this one for my grandma.
Yeah, this one's for grandma. Yeah, I need to get back and practice because that one was hard. That was that's
a hard tune.
That little run. Just,
Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
yeah, the first one is the one that really messes me. Dun, 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 dun. Playing that like real cleanly
real
on an
fast.
acoustic guitar.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun playing with the Afro-Cuban ensemble. So they had congas. They had what all instruments did they have there?
Oh, they had everything. They had pans too. Like did we have pans in that during that time? The steel pans.
The steel pans.
Yeah.
I did play in the steel pan ensemble, but for the Afro-Cuban ensemble,
We
there
didn't
was
have
there was
those. You're right.
timpani, I
Yep.
think, or
timbales.
Timbales, yeah. And
Congas. There was a drum
bongos,
set. Yeah.
full drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was me on the keyboard, on the piano, and then some guitar, bass. Right.
Yep. And then the director,
Richard Walker.
Richard Walker. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
playing the vibes, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did some awesome solos on it.
Yeah.
He's in Utah now.
He's in Utah.
Yeah.
What's he doing in Utah?
He's an administrator now,
Okay.
like a dean or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That guy had some energy, man.
He was
a
good.
Good
He was
guy.
good. Yeah. I still talk to him. He's a good friend. We became real good friends.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, he ran all the like percussion type programs at IUPUI. So like if you were like a freshman and you wanted to take a conga class, you'd learn from him. And like then the Afro-Cuban ensemble, that was like a more advanced one. And usually only like the top percussive players would get in there, and I snuck my way in there not knowing anything about percussion.
Yeah. But you're really musical, so it's a big difference when you get students that don't know anything on how, or have to learn everything from scratch.
Yeah.
And then somebody like Ryan that picks up stuff. He picks up stuff fast anyways, right?
Yeah, music is definitely one of Ryan's primary languages. That's
Yeah.
why I asked if you guys had ever played together, because I'm just like sitting here fantasizing about what it would be like to sit in with you guys just jamming,
Yeah, that'd be
just
fun.
riffing,
That'd be fun.
That would be definitely fun.
I gotta practice way more for that.
Don't
I need to get my
sell yourself
chords back
short.
on. I need to
Wait a minute,
I need
you
to
used
get
to
my,
read chords pretty well. You still read them pretty well?
Well, for the Afro-Cuban ensemble, we did have sheet music, and I don't sight read music, but I can read it slowly, and then I can
Yeah.
study it, and then I can basically
it out.
know what
Yeah.
I'm playing based on that.
Right.
So that's kind of what I had to do. But yeah, I don't sight read well, but I did start learning scales really well. Like something clicked a few years, really about a year ago. I picked up just the right book that explained things just
Well,
how I
that's
needed
good for
to see it.
improv and stuff, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
Cool.
that was a big unlocking point for like the fretboard for me, and seeing how I mean, with piano it's I don't want to say it's easier, but everything's just laid out for you. On guitar it's just
I think the problem with guitar is you can have the exact same pitch on 5 different places.
yeah.
That is
But
wildly
that's also-
confusing.
Which
It's-
one do you use, right?
Yeah, it's also cool though because they all sound different. They all have their own little tone to it, so it's kind of depending on what you're going for.
Right,
you
right, yeah.
You can change the feel of it, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can take that.
It blows my mind to hear you, like, because in my mind, Ryan, so like you exist on a celestial plane of like musical ability, and then to hear, and I mean, but that's like for more than 6 years I've felt that way. Yeah. And to hear you say, "Oh, a year ago, I felt like I really started getting good at a thing." I'm like, "Shut up! Just shut up!"
Right?
And then I don't practice anymore because I'm too busy podcasting. But
That's your excuse, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
it really helped though. Like especially coming up with like guitar leads and stuff. So I got another EP coming out hopefully by the end of this year. I wanted it to be out in June, but you know how things go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I have a CD that I've started in 2008.
Oh boy,
I still haven't finished it.
it's not just me. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna adjust this. This is gonna be a horrible sound.
I'll help you out. Sound effects.
Killing baby birds over there.
Oh, yeah. He's killed those birds.
I don't want to do it too tight.
Oh, there you go.
Is it too? Is there a too tight for this?
I don't know.
It'll just keep falling. And
Your microphone's heavy.
my
It is-
microphone. It
it
is a
is
heavy
heavy, yeah.
microphone. Let me put this back in Nick's face, and that'll help it.
There you go.
There we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. Yeah, in our you'll love this. In one of our previous episodes, we were having some technical issues with a guy over Zoom, and I think you're gonna love what I'm gonna do with it. By the time this comes out, it's gonna already be done. But
We
I
still need
plan
to
on-
record an intro for that one.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
Or we can just kind of let it fly with what we got. I think we'll let it fly. Yeah.
Sure.
Because I think it was enough of an intro. But anyway, like we were having technical difficulties, but I'm gonna get crazy with the sound effects on there and maybe have some
that's
elevator
hilarious.
music come on, and like cut the video out and please stand by.
So you know where you get good sound effects? Where do you guys go for your sound effects?
I forget where there's something, I think freesound.org. is
Yeah,
one of
that's what I
them.
was going to tell you.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one to do. And the trick there is to look at the downloads and see which ones had the most downloads.
Oh, okay.
And then you know it's a good sound because there's so many of them, right?
Yeah.
So then I always look and it's like, oh, that one's got 68,000 views or downloads. That must be a good one.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So
That's actually where I got the sound of the forging hammer
Oh, yeah?
in the intro. And
Nice.
I still need to go, like I used quite a few sounds from them, and I still
Yeah.
want to go back and like contribute some sounds that I've
Yeah.
recorded just to kind of give back to them because I didn't donate anything.
yeah, yeah. No, you can load them in there for them and stuff. There's
Nice.
and you had quite a few that we produced over the years
Quite a few
from sound effects. Yeah, that was from scratch that we made.
Oh yeah.
So we had these Foley parties in my class.
Those were fun.
Yeah, and their highlight was that they got to break glass,
Who doesn't enjoy breaking glass?
right? But it was quite dangerous, I'm telling you. We had a big, humongous box, and then they had a top over it, and they would crash the bottles inside the box, right? But it was nerve-wracking. Everybody had to wear goggles, these
Oh, yeah.
safety goggles, and they crash. And I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody killed themselves. Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they actually knew we were doing that, they probably would have told me I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, those were a lot of fun. That was right around the time at least the first studio. I imagine they got more studios now in that building, but like the first audio studio was
yeah,
really
we still have the same one, and it looks exactly the same.
looks exactly the same.
with the exact same equipment.
Man, I really should have delayed going to college because I wanted to go to school for audio engineering,
Oh, yeah.
but I could only go to IUPUI. And that was in like 2003 and 2004.
And they didn't have anything, yeah.
They had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said IU Bloomington would not allow them to have any music programs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I took a business of music course
Yeah.
and took some guitar courses, and that's pretty much all that was available. And
Oh,
it made
man.
me real sad, and I just wasted the rest of my time in
Well,
college.
that 2003 is when I started. I developed the courses for the media arts program, and that's when my first class was 2003 that I taught there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I developed all those courses during that time.
And you started that because you came in there and you were a student, right?
Yeah, I was a
And
master's student.
Yeah, and they were doing some horrible things with audio.
Yeah. That's what I told my teacher. I'm like, so there was a project, and the project was supposed to be digital effects. And when you say digital effects, what do you think of? Video,
Video, yeah.
right? Well, I'm like, okay, let me teach you about digital effects that you guys are not using right now, that you should be using. So, and my whole project was about how the class was doing these terrible things to audio files. And that they needed to fix those. And then they called me in. They're like, can you teach this stuff? And I'm like, I would love to teach this stuff. I enjoy doing this and I love teaching. So it'd be a good fit for us to do that. And so that's when they asked me to develop the courses for it. And I presented to them, and then they said, oh, this looks great. Let's do it. And so I started teaching. And it was just me teaching all three of those courses. And then we got help, and then we had 3 instructors at one point teaching those courses.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
And nowadays you're technically a part of the School of Music now. That was
no, actually, it's a School of Engineering Technology.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's changed quite a bit since I've been there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we became part of the School of Engineering. It's Purdue School of Engineering Technology, but we're the only department that gets an IU degree.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, which is good because IU has a good name for music, right?
Okay.
And the course is actually music, arts, and technology. And they also have a music therapy program right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they have not only that, but the bachelor's, but now they have the master's and they have a doctorate program. So you can get a doctorate degree in music technology. Yeah,
It's pretty
cool.
impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for all of that, Ricardo.
You'll be able to handle it, no problem there, Ryan.
I don't know if I can handle the debt. That's
Oh, right.
that's where I'm at.
Still managing some of that.
Still managing quite a large amount of that.
This
but
podcast has got to take off and then make you guys a bunch of money or something.
that's
We'll see.
I mean, hopefully that's
That's the plan, right?
yeah. You just jinxed us. I hope I jinxed us in a good way. In the good jinx. Is jinx really a bad word?
I will pass it on. Make sure you just got to put it on all the chatters and all the, for the different cities or something. I don't know.
Well, the cool thing about it is that it's a. I mean, the goal is that we eventually want to make this a platform for creatives so that we can find creatives that kind of need that little bit of a boost and then have them on and let them talk about what they do. I think it's all interesting content. It's a lot of fun. But it's a thing that automatically generates its own audience. It can be tricky, like as a musician, to find people to listen to your music other than your friends.
Right.
But when you're doing podcasts with people, if I do a podcast with an artist, like all of his friends are going to listen to it. And
Absolutely,
then they might tag on and
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
some
and
other stuff.
maybe what you guys gotta do some point is like have somebody show something cool,
Yeah.
and that will get people interested even more than
Sure.
something like that.
yeah.
A process or something cool that you came up with or you learned or something. It doesn't have to be something you came up with, just something that's cool that that people appreciate.
Like Louis.
Yeah, Killer Louis impression. Yeah, exactly. Just like that.
Perfect.
That's definitely going to be an isolated clip.
Oh no!
Hopefully we don't get in any
What
copyright
have I
trouble.
done?
What have you done?
It was a live performance. That's
you go.
A-okay, right?
Yeah, it's completely original,
So,
just not in composition.
Right?
and I'm sorry not to like derail the flow of things, but Ricardo, do you have a hard out today? Do we need
He
to?
does at 12, I believe, right?
Yeah,
it's coming
I
up
have
on
to
that.
actually have to teach a class at 1:30. I think I'm ready to go. So I made sure I was done, set to go. So I should be okay for a little bit.
Okay,
I don't know what
cool.
time you guys got.
Okay, it's 11:46 right now.
Quarter
Okay,
till noon.
Yeah.
Well, just to kind of keep things going, along a useful and potentially beneficial train. You've got loads of experience, both behind the keys, manning the helm of the mixing board. Our listener base definitely covers like a large amount of different types of creatives. What would you say? Because we've noticed, just in doing this, we've noticed a ton of overlaps between industries, between what artists deal with and what entrepreneurs deal with. What have you noticed from where you sit that you would say is broadly applicable, whether it's music, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's visual arts?
That's a really good question. To me, I think, there's audio in everything.
Sure.
And so it's really applicable to a lot of different things. So if you're doing a video, if you're doing a website, if you're doing an iPhone app, if you're doing all these different things, you have multiple things that you can deal with audio.
Mm-hmm.
You have sound effects, you have the music, you have voiceovers, so those all overlap within all of these different things. And so a lot of different businesses don't even know that they need audio person or something like that. So I think it's useful to be able to have these skills so that you can communicate the client what they need,
Sure.
whatever it is.
Yeah. It's definitely a very frequently overlooked aspect of media projects.
Yeah.
People seem to think that, just having a video guy is enough. But if you really think about it, like a video is encompassing two completely different senses, and
Yeah.
and it's interesting how audio can really influence what's going on. Like, people like Ricardo and I, when we go to a movie theater, like we're really noticing when those things are kind of happening. Like I think both he and I, we have to sit like right in the middle of the movie theater. And we have a deep appreciation for that, but a lot of it's very subconscious to most people.
Yeah,
Like, they don't even realize that they're being influenced emotionally by the music and the sound effects that are happening. But
yeah, definitely an emotional influence.
yeah.
Does it just take you completely out of the experience if the mix is bad and the levels are way off?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I've actually complained at a movie theater that the sound was bad. I mean, I'm that guy, okay? So
I'd like my money back, please.
yeah, it's like I came to the movie theater for a movie theater experience. I have a movie theater in my house, but I came over here because I wanted a 3D, like I only go to the movie theater if it's like 3D stereoscopic videos.
Right.
And then of course for the sound, and then it's fun to take the kids and, have fun there. But if it's not good, then I complain.
Yeah. And they'll give you a voucher for your thing next time. So
yeah, I don't really know that they would fix it. I'm not sure if sometimes they do.
yeah. There's been a few times I've gone to a movie theater and I've complained too, and that there was one theater in Tucson, and everything about the theater was great. It's just the sound was just a little too loud.
Oh.
And me as a musician cranking a guitar into my brain constantly, I can't be the only one saying it's too loud because I've got some definite hearing loss.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the sound is a big deal, I think.
Huge
Just
deal.
when you go to a movie theater,
Especially with dialogue. I have noticed in theaters where the sound has been way too loud.
Yeah.
It gets garbled. Like I lose, like there are no subtitles on this, English spoken movie,
Yeah.
Netflix at home, I don't have to worry about it. 'Cause I can just read all the dialogue. But
Don't get me wrong. I don't complain all the time. It's just when it's bad.
when it's bad, and you paid money for it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, Ricardo comes from a very different culture in Brazil. I mean, like it's very normal over there for people to haggle a lot more often. That was one thing that I remember you telling me, and I started doing that everywhere. And
it works, right?
It works, just asking like, hey, can I get a discount on that? They're like, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I love throwing in is there a teacher discount on this?
Teacher discount. I'm going to start using that one.
I tell you what, I go over here, I get teacher discounts. They actually have those for
Nice.
like your tires for your car and for like all the kinds of stuff, you know. You can just ask for it. Don't do it.
Nice. Well, I teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so hopefully that might...
Well, there you go. That's
yeah.
where your Brazilian comes from.
That's right.
What can I say I teach? I teach art interpretation.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There you go. You just don't say that. Just ask for a teacher's discount. You're not...
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I have a channel over here that's 24/7 fights. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, Combate, which is it's a Brazilian channel.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
But it's basically they have jiu-jitsu in there, and they have the UFC and all the MMA stuff in there, and they have judo and karate. It's 24/7. Yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
There needs to be more stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I go get my hair cut at Sport Clips, and they're always playing like I don't know, like some football or
Oh, I know.
And I'm just like, man,
That's me crazy.
I didn't want to say soccer because I know you like soccer, but
Yeah, they don't have enough soccer actually.
but I don't know. I wouldn't mind so much if I sat down and I was watching some fights and stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah,
But
Into it.
very good.
yeah, I had a question, kind of tailing back to when you started doing music. Like, what were your like early inspirations for getting into music? Like, what made you really want to pick up the piano?
I just love music, man.
Just all of it.
Yeah, I just enjoyed listening to it, singing. It was just one of those things, you know. And I was like, what happened was all of my cousins, you know, I had 9 female cousins, and then there was the 3 of us, my brothers, and there's 3 boys, and then all of the rest were girls. For a lot of my cousins, and then we actually got 2 other boys. As the time went by. But mainly we were the older ones, right? And all of the girls, my grandmother bought pianos for each one of the families that had girls, but not for our family.
Oh,
Because we were all boys, right? So I was the only one that I was very interested in it, you know, but we didn't have a piano. So we went one time when we were here, we went to a music store to look for something for my cousin. You know, I think it was a book, or she was looking for an organ or something that she wanted to check out. And so we went in there. This guy starts showing me stuff, you know, the salesman. And I'm like, I love this. I need to do this. And so my dad would give us each $5 to go in to play the arcade games. I would pocket mine and go, this is in the mall, right?
Sure.
So I'd go in the mall, and then I'd go into the music store and just keep my money, you know, and just have a ton of fun playing the keyboards there the whole time. And they would show me cool things, and then I learned it. And then next thing you know, my mom got me a teacher, and she really knew I was interested, because one day we went to a garage sale, and there was a keyboard there. Real crappy, one of those. It had, like, you turn the thing on, it's like, you know, and it was like you could hear the air. It was an air thing, right?
Sure.
And they wanted $100 for that thing, and my mom was like, "Nah, I'm not buying that piece of junk," you know. And I'm like, "I will buy it with my own money." And I pulled out $100 that I had saved from not going to the arcade games and going to the music store. And I bought that thing with my own money. And then she
Wow.
knew I was really interested in it, and then got me a teacher, you know. So
beautiful.
That's
how,
awesome.
That's how it started, yeah.
Could you say that at that time there was anyone that you wanted to be, like any musical idols that you wished you could kind of emulate?
You know, it was about 1983 that this happened. And so the big one that was at the time was Billy Joel.
Okay.
okay.
I really enjoyed Billy Joe, and then, you know, of course, Elton John's music,
Sure.
at piano, you know, all these piano guys. You know, I was 11, right? So, and 10 and 11. So it was like those were the pop music that was playing at the time, and that's what I would listen to, you know. So I enjoyed those guys. And then, of course, my mom always liked the old boleros and things like that, and I grew up listening to those. So I always enjoyed those. And so I played lots and lots of Latin music from very young. So I still know them today. So like the stuff you learn when you're 10, you keep forever.
Sure.
Like I can play every single one of those songs, no problem. Yeah. So
I guess I picked up guitar a little late then, huh? I was 13.
yeah.
I don't remember anything from when I was 13.
Oh, you're screwed.
Except Under the Bridge. Under the Bridge, I remember that song pretty well.
Yeah.
But okay, what kind of this is kind of taking a left turn a little bit, but I'm curious what kind of classes that you're teaching nowadays. Like, what do some of the projects over there look like?
Okay, so I've been teaching. I'm teaching music and computers as a course, which is Introduction to Music Production, and we have a lot of fun in there. Like the first project that the students have to do, they basically have to interview somebody in the class about stuff, and just to get to know them. But and then I have them tell me a scary story or tell me a funny story about something that happened to you, and then they have to make up a story from scratch. It doesn't have to be true, but they have to incorporate some of the things that they said into their story, and it has to be about that person. So they make the whole thing up from scratch, and then they have to they record it. That's 1 week worth of work. And then the next time they have to edit it, they put sound effects in it. They have to use 4 different digital signal processors. So reverb and delay or whatever you want to put on it. Pitch shift, change the pitch of the voice or whatever. And to tell the story. And then they have to put music in it as well. So they have to edit the sound, so it's a lot of fun, and then they come up at the end, you have like apocalypse, stories and like scary movie things, it's like all these different ideas, talk show type of thing, so it's a lot of fun. The students like that. And then we have another project that they actually have to produce something with the keyboard. So keyboard is actually part of something that they have to purchase.
Okay.
Yeah, so they actually get a MIDI keyboard, and then we trigger things with the software in the computer so that they can, learn how to program. So they program the drum beat, the bass line, and then another instrument, and they make a groove. And then the following project, they learn some music theory stuff, and then they actually have to play the chords that I tell them what chords they are, and they have to produce something using those chords. And then the final project, this is really cool. You're going to like this. They basically run my studio remotely. So I bring in an artist, a professional singer. He goes in there, and then I put a camera out here so they can see him, and then it's all streamed to them live. And they run. I give them control to all my equipment, and they can remotely control all my equipment in here.
It's amazing.
And so they learn how to talk to the client, how to run the session, how to do the producing of it. We actually sit in here. Or I sit in here. They sit in their homes right now, and we write the song, the lyrics to the song. So they come up. I pick 3 songs to work with. Okay, at the end of the semester. So we have 20 students. I pick 3 songs, and then I put everybody into groups to write the songs. Yeah, and then at the end of the day, after 6 hours, it's a 6 hours process. We have a fully recorded song with all the parts and the lyrics, everything recorded. If there's like guitar solos, people will do it remotely and then put the file in the same file, and it works. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun class.
Yeah.
I might have to register next semester.
Hey,
I don't know.
come on down. You'd be great.
Making me want to re-enroll.
Right.
Jesus, that's
Ricardo's classes were the best, man. They were always
I
so
appreciate
much fun.
that, man. That's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I can't even like separate. There was the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes, but they all just kind of blur together in my mind. They were all just so much fun.
Yeah, it's because it's like I said, everything's additive. So I would teach one thing, and then you would use that thing, and then learn something new, and then use another thing and learn something new.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Well, I think we're at a pretty good point to start wrapping up, and we've been asking this question a lot, and we've been getting some pretty interesting results from a lot of different people, and I think you'd have a lot of good input on this one. But what would you recommend Like, what would your advice be to somebody who is starting off in some type of creative venture, or maybe just starting something really hard? And this can be a really broad thing. Like maybe they're starting a business, or maybe they're even enrolling in college and they're about to, take a big leap with their life and do something productive and positive with it. Like, what kind of advice would you impart to somebody like that?
Well, that's a good question. And to me, I think that anything you want to do, I think you just have to put your heart into it, and then just, do your research, and then just take the bull by the horn. I always tell my students, take the bull by the horn. Don't be afraid of it. Just go ahead and do it. Like I bought that camera. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I don't, but I'm taking it and I'm going to learn it.
Yeah.
And I have 1 week to do it because I'm going to use it for that project that's coming up, right? So I think you learn by doing it. And so pick what you want to do a little research on what you need and how to best complete the task. Don't be afraid of messing it up, because it'll just keep getting better and better. And then if you need to redo it a later time, you can come back and redo something, right? So I always tell students, don't be afraid of it. Failure is going to happen, right? Actually, you grow from failure. Everybody knows this, right? So I always tell my students the example of my friend Patrick. Patrick has been to The Voice over 30 times. He's auditioned over 30 times to The Voice. He's an incredible singer. You know Patrick.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's amazing. He sings higher than most women that I know, and he does all the Journey songs and do them like really well, right? And so he's been through the first section of it, the first audition once, and then he oversang it, and then he didn't get through. But his philosophy is he keeps going. It's like playing the lottery. If you don't try it, you're not gonna get there.
Right.
I mean, he's 65 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, but he's not giving up. He's still doing it, and he's having fun with it. So I always tell people, have fun. Whatever you're gonna do, have some fun. Learn something, and then apply it. See how it goes. Yeah.
That's great, man.
I mean, that's like foundational.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Necessary. Wow.
Well, cool. We'll go ahead and break down and get out of your hair. Thanks again for joining us and letting us in your studio. Where can our listener learn more about Ricardo Laranja and Laranja Studios? It's funny that just the screen popped on right when I said it. Laranja Studios right here.
Here I am.
Talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they can find me on Facebook. It's Laranja Studios, or you can find Ricardo Laranja. If you type any Google search, you'll find pages and pages of stuff that I've done and student projects. I bet you your project's in there somewhere.
Man, I'm gonna have to start looking.
There's the YouTube channel. You can find me on there as well. So it's Ricardo Laranja. So find it on there. There's funny videos. There's videos of my son playing when he was in first grade, playing that Pirates of the Caribbean song I played for you.
Yeah.
He was playing that, and with another little boy playing a cello.
Nice.
And he jammed out, man. I had him all dressed up as a pirate, and then there's actually a video in there of my wife teaching people how to cut watermelon, because she's got a pretty unique way that she does it. And it's like wow, that's just like all the chunks are already there. I could just eat. And different videos of me. Actually, there's a lot of recording sessions recorded on there, so people can go and just watch it. Sometimes I do them live. So I'll have like a live session, and it shows me with a client working together or something like that.
Yeah, I dropped in on a few of those while I was still on the West Coast, and
that's right.
So just popped in.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do them very much anymore. Normally you gotta get permission from the client to do it, and some of them don't want to have that. So I haven't been doing a lot of them lately, but those are fun.
And then you also mentioned when we came in that you're doing a podcast as well.
Curmudgeons, is that right?
Yeah, Curmudgeons with a K.
With a K.
Curmudgeons with a K.
Yeah. It just looked cool.
What's that podcast all about?
So this is basically four dads
Sure.
from the west side here, just talking about whatever. So it's kind of like this. I mean, we just sit down and just very organic, just talk about whatever's going on, and have comments and stuff. And we're different ethnicities, and it's just a lot of cool perspectives on things that we experience, and it's a lot of fun. So
Where's that available?
we have you can find us on Facebook on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page for that. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll have to seek that out. As a dad, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys
All right,
for coming, and it's great
amazing,
seeing you,
man.
Ryan.
Yeah,
And
great to see you too, brother.
yeah, I always like having the good students show up and do stuff.
The good students, the bad ones, stay away.
Yeah,
Stay home.
that's right.
Quarantine.
Yeah,
It's very important.
Don't come to Ricardo's house.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't.
I'm just happy to see that you got all this equipment. You brought all this over here, and it sounds good and it's looking good. As you guys are doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and it's gonna be good.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well done.
That means a lot coming from you, man.
Hey,
I appreciate
it.
that. You think you can give us a little outro?
Play us out.
Play us out, Ricardo.
What do you guys want to hear?
Just a little tune, whatever's off the top of your head.
oh
just
my gosh.
just
Play
think,
the entertainer so I can tap dance out the door.
Oh, the entertainer! Oh my gosh! I bet you I have a honky tonk in here somewhere.
All right, everybody. That's our episode. Thanks for stopping in. Be sure to tune in next week.
There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, my pleasure.